I have nothing to say. And usually, if you see me in real life, like you see me face to face, this is what you got. I'm just quiet in my own space, and you see me staring at nothing. And you are curious about what is this person doing? Why is she so quiet? I didn't know when I was younger, but I think I figured out that actually it was a mix of it's a mix of me being sick, like mildly sick, tired, and careless. Just don't care about anything. I just want to be in my space, reclusive space. And sometimes this happen and I think like I picture myself that there will be a risk of me not talking anything, just like this. I think like we overcome the implication of the 365 days, which is sounds really burden, full of burden. And I don't know the other word for that. I feel like there is another word for full of burden, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I scheduled the live stream about what if you cannot, well, you can't go back, but you also cannot move because you're afraid of the future. Kind of forget what I wrote, but that is the title of this live stream. And it was the continuation of yesterday live stream, which is something about overwhelmed. And I kind of want to talk about it by the time I'm scheduling it. But now I don't really want to talk about it, which is like, so what are we going to do now? Cold sweat. A bit sick, but it's not really like I'm feeling hot in my body and all that stuff. It's mildly sick because I can feel I'm having cold sweat everywhere, and it's part of the deal, but I didn't know back then. So I used to sweat bunch, and then I'm like, why am I so sweaty? I don't get it. And then I realized, oh, I actually really sick right now. I didn't even know that I'm feeling sick. I'm just like I don't care about my body, about my physical body, about this life experience. So I'm so detached of my body, of my experience, of my reaction, feeling that I just don't freaking care about anything. And then you see me staring at nothing and you are like, why is she staring at nothing? What is she staring at? I there was one time I was just, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything. So I'm just like leaning back to the wall, leaning back to the wall, and I'm just like kind of like just thinking about why I'm feeling this way. But then I kind of look like I was posing, and then my friend took a picture of me, and it was kind of a pose, and I'm like, that's weird. Which is like most of the time I was like that, and then I get sick of feeling like that, and I change. I just change to be someone different because I was bored. When I'm bored, it's a great indication that I'm going to start fucking around and find out, which is what I did. And thankfully, I didn't do anything weird. I didn't do anything harsh on myself because there was a time when it was there is an impulse about doing that, really, really bad stuff. But then I'm like, let's not do it. We don't really want to have the after effect of trying that thing. That's what I did. And what I did is only, what if we are not this bored? What would that person be? And I thought about, oh, I actually really curious about why people being so social can be so socially interactive with everyone. And I'm like, I'm not that person. Let's try that. And I learn about the conversation going. I learn about empathy. I learn to be kind. I learn a lot just by trying to be someone else, which is like not a really great idea to do it. But I think at the time I'm just fascinating by people who is socially connected. And I did get into some of the fragment of that reality. But then I'm like, oh, this is like actually not me. And I just want to be alone. And this is like one of those moments. It's like I don't want to do anything. I just want to be alone by myself and not doing anything about whatever I need to do. And today is Sunday, actually. So the great thing about Sunday is that I try not to do any work. Did it work? No. I did a couple of things today for um, my business, and it's just a sideway thing. It's not really difficult. I think like I have been condensing how I do my business because I'm doing this alone and I can't do the complicated stuff, and I don't like to see a complicated stuff in my work. So I try to do it as in such a swift way. It will be helpful if I have a busy life. But at the moment, I don't have anyone to take care of. I just by myself, carrying my cats in my home with my parents. So not really like a big of responsibility, which is nice if you're trying to build something new and that's the reality that you're in. It's kind of like you have a spare time. Hmm. It's a shame that I didn't want to talk about what I scheduled, but sometimes it happened. Life happened and you just go with it. I am scrouching right now. Ah, and we spent 10 minutes here. I wish you guys here so I can like interact with you and just ask you if you have something going on. What are we on about? I want to talk about Alien because there is a hype around that. And I you remember when I was channeling for the first time for you, not for myself, like I'm looking at the collective and what is happening on Earth. And at the end of my channeling session, I say something crack in the ocean, crack in the ocean until I said blue, 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 blue. I don't know. There are colors and it's a blue, and I just repeat what I see and crack in the ocean. I don't know why I said that. I didn't see any crack in the ocean. I have a feeling there is a crack in the ocean. So sometimes when you channel, it's very different from a psychic reading. Like not kind of different because you more open, but your eyes is closed. So the feeling itself is doubled, I think. I feel like it's like that. So sometimes when I did psychic readings, there is some feedback of energetic exchange there with my clients. So I kind of like read what they think and I translate it One time my client asked me like, am I going to keep working at my place or am I going to do something else? And I don't know why I keep seeing kitchen. The word itself is so big and it's just like kitchen, kitchen, kitchen. And I'm like, kitchen? Are you doing something with kitchen? I feel like you're going to be here for quite a while. So I don't know what kind of work you do in the kitchen, but I feel like this is going to be your work for quite a while. And she didn't say anything. And after the session, after we off the meetings, she told me I was flabbergasted when you say kitchen because I'm currently working in a kitchen. And I'm like, great. I don't know how I know that. I just see the word. And that's what I translate. You are working in the kitchen. The feeling is like this. And the crack in the ocean is like that. Have that feeling, that nuance, and I'm just like looking at the collective, looking at the earth and what's going on with it, all the energetic and all the big timeline. And I feel like there are many people, and because we have the UFO files, there are indication that because there is this word like whatever, either you're going to release the files or not, the contact will not skew either way. So it will happen either way. And the government have no choice to release the files. Connecting to what I say about crack in the ocean, I feel like the underground cities, the underground people, community there have no choice to stay there. And they need to come up to the surface because the crack in the ocean. I just connected that today because I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why I said crack the ocean. Probably that is why. Because the only timeline that I see for Earth is actually the surface is going to change. The landscape is going to change. And whether that will be true or not, or maybe the nuclear facility is going to have some problem because of that, and there is a mushroom smoke coming out of it because of the failure of the geography itself. Maybe it's working like that. I don't know. But there are cracks in the ocean. That's all I see. I literally just believe one timeline right now. I don't believe in the slavery anymore. I don't believe in we are being dominated by AI, or maybe like we are going to be have a alien invasion. I see none of that. I do see that our technology going to advance a lot quicker because I is this is the older time. This is the past. When I channel for myself, like what timeline am I in? Can I jump into a timeline where I'm like the farthest away of my timeline? Can I see that person? I'm there and just see the nature, the environment, how is it going and all that stuff. And I see we're going to have the flying car. I see that we're going to have more skyscraper, and I I can see there's a neon, a lot of neons, and there are just so many advanced, and it will be like around 2070, 2080. And it's far away, but it's not the farthest that I can like I can feel. There are some other things that are going to happen in the far away future, but that was the farthest timeline I ever have, which is like around my 60 or 70. And is it? No, it's like more in 80 because I'm born in 96, 2050 to 2070. Yeah, about 80 something. So what did I talk about? I just skew so far away. So the alien. Oh, the timeline. Yeah, I don't see anything else. I just see the crack in the ocean. I just see the different geographic landscape of Earth. It's just going to be so different, and it will be happening after 2030, after the Great Reset, which is like the government collapsing. And then the next thing is actually that thing, which is like what's going to happen. And Bashar have shared about, not Bashar, but Daryl Anka, the channeler of Bashar, shared about the great harmonic resonance going to happen under 2050, by 2050, like the farthest, the closest or the farthest, I don't remember. There's a video on that. And it's fascinating because I have contracted myself to work for 20 years on this project, on this being a light worker, like like really front facing, you seeing me doing my work. It will be like 20 years contract by myself because I figured that I have done 20 years contract for the initiation itself. So I feel like 20 years for literally showing up for you is kind of like balanced game. So I don't necessarily think about anything else besides this thing. So I feel if we do it right, 20 years it comes. But apparently I need to add a few more years because the Great Resonance only going to happen by 2050. I don't know. It sounds so far away, but I have spent the last 6 years to just do nothing, and it just frankly easier thing to do, which is doing nothing. And I learned to enjoy it, but it does get boring most of the time. Hmm. A problem arises. I don't really have anything to talk about. Very interesting. What else do we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about? Hmm. I got nothing. I feel like I just want to sleep right now. That is really interesting. I look at how long have I've been alive. I've been live streaming, and it was like 20 minutes, like on the clock, like 2000. Very interesting. Hmm. Yep, I got nothing. So I'll see you tomorrow.